Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, I think Aishwaryananda Swamiji has somehow maybe having some trouble connecting. He will come back. So till he comes back, we'll go back to the verse, go back to our verse that we were talking about. Ah, there he is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah, please say a few words.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want, you can say.
Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Namaste to everyone. I am very thankful to Swaminiji to giving me chance to say few words and being the part of this your retreat. As Swaminiji rightly said, we knew each other since last 2 decades and very loving memories when initially we met together. We were working together for this tribal students education. She had visited my place with along with Pujya Swamiji, and I think you must be knowing the place called Ujjain, where Mahakaleshwara's a very famous shrine, where a temple is there, one of the Jyotirlingas. We were there together for few days when Pujya Swamiji's lectures were there. After that also, we had a chance to be together for some times. But when she finished her study course with Pujya Swamiji and she left to America, then there was no connection. Once, twice, I remember we met in ashrams, Rishikesh and Coimbatore. So suddenly, through I came to know through Shraddha Raja that
Aha.
she is in touch with her. So then I got Swamiji's number from her and called. So let us meet sometimes when you come to India. So that is how it happened. And she very with confidence, and I don't know how she felt about me. She said, "You should join this retreat and take one class." Let me talk about myself for a few things. I am a simple sadhu. I just yesterday spoke about Swaminiji also. I am not a public speaker, and especially in English, I don't have that experience and the vocabulary about English language. So teach in English. I can speak few words, but teaching is the different thing, because a lot of technically and some literaturely words are should be there to explain. I have studied under Pujya Swamiji. Before Pujya Swamiji, I studied in this Vedanta in Rishikesh in Hindi medium. Before that, I studied in Marathi medium. So Shastra as such with Pujya Swamiji's blessings, parampara, traditional blessings, I can unfold, but in now I am not comfortable in English. So that's why I requested Swaminiji that I will talk in Hindi English mixed. So maybe those who do not know Hindi, I feel sympathy with them. It will be difficult for you people, but that is my limitation. And yesterday, Swaminiji told me that end of the class every day, 5 10 minutes you keep for the question answers. So that is what I also do here. When I take classes here, I also take 2 classes every day, morning and evening. So there also I have that kept the 10 minutes for question answer. In this few days also, we will do the same thing. Very nicely, Swamiji has uh, told about this Jiva Yatra text. It is not new thing. Only word I like the Jiva Yatra, the journey of the soul. It is new for you, but you might have heard or listened from Swamiji Kathopanishad. There, the one section comes about the Jiva's traveling. So, one of the great acharyas in our Shankaracharya Parampara tradition has written this small text called Jiva Yatra, and very beautifully that he has unfolded the sadhanas, the steps one has to take for one's own journey to be completed. Like Sadhana Panchakam, you might have heard about Sadhana Panchakam. Such kind of texts are there. The same way, he has explained this very nicely. How this journey has started, we do not know, but how to end it, how to complete the journey, how many stations will be on the way, and how we have to again restart our journey and complete it. So, with Guru's grace, we will be able to togetherly we will be able to understand the journey and complete our journey. This is what we will be doing with these few days. And today, I think our time evening, your time will be morning. Tomorrow morning for you, we will be starting the Jivatra. I am sure you will be able to cope with me this language wise. Okay. Thank you, Swamiji. Thanks for giving me chance to be talk to all of you.
Oh, the blessing is entirely all of us, for all of us, that you are here with us, Swamiji. Wonderfully spoken, very wonderfully said. And now I suddenly feel like we are in Pushpaka Vimana, because that Pushpaka had the plane which this Sri Lankapati owned, Ravana owned, that was called Pushpaka. And then it could it was a expandable plane, so you could have two seater. And this is what you had said earlier, that we'll go on spiritual holiday and visit these sites. And then now everybody wanted to get on. In the Ramayana, at the end, all the Vanaras also wanted to get on and have a ride. So then the Pushpaka accommodated, it became big and accommodated everybody. So all I have to say is hop on. Hop on, because this is a wonderful chance. Um, this is a great chance. This is our very interesting and little bit peculiar end of the year holiday. Because of coronavirus, we cannot go anywhere else. The only place to go is within, and so let us take a journey within together. So hop on. A few things I want to say about the retreat, and I will ask Swamiji also to elaborate after I have spoken, to see, maybe he will also have some ideas. In a regular holiday that you take along with many people, one is one is constantly outward focused. As the Kathopanishad says, Paranchikhani Vyatrinat Swayambhuhu Parak Pashyati Nacha Antaratmanam na Pashyati. Because the setup, Bhagavan's setup is like that. Our eyes are facing outward, ears are facing outward, so it is very easy to go on a holiday out or an outer holiday. So this is a holiday in a different way. This is a holiday inward holiday, and that is a little more challenging, because the distractions are easy to catch hold of. And the distractions come because there is something called what should I say, because there is something called the swabhavika vritti. There is a natural tendency to be outward focused, to be focused on everything that is happening. And especially if one is sitting in the house all the time, one feels like eating, and one feels like doing something else. So that is little difficult. And then again, the uh, even though the mumuksha, the desire for freedom, is strong, sometimes it is, by the winds of prarabdha blowing this way and that, it is hijacked. This is Pujya Swamiji's word, hijacked. The winds of distraction and prarabdha, winds of bad fortune, in other words, uh, papa coming out in certain ways, hijack the person from the goal, from taking this journey. So if it was some kind of a holiday, we are we are sitting in a bus, and then, you look outside, and then there is a tour guide in the bus, and then the tour guide says, look to the left, this is a monument, look to the right, this is a park, and obediently all the travelers look and enjoy and take notes, and then, this is something, because one is always kept entertained. Vedanta is a different kind of an entertainment, for which it is a cultivated taste. It is a cultivated taste. The more you cultivate, the more it becomes tasty. Not that it is distasteful at first. In fact, it is very tasty. Raso vaisah rasakyevayam labdhva nandi bhavati. It is tasty. It is made to. It is. It is. It is destined to take you to your goal, which is ananda, which is that limitless joy that one seeks. It is destined to take you to your goal, and otherwise, known as Vedanta. This is what it is. But there has to be a there has to be parak honi chahiye. I mean, there has to be that ability to see that this is what I really want. This is what I really want. And so that's why the journey, so there are two journeys. One is a journey into Brahma Vidya, and then that is the main journey. And the subtext of both what Swamiji and I will be teaching during this retreat is also, uh, what is that? The theme of Shraddha, Bhakti, Karma Yoga, which in the Bhagavad Gita is put very well, you know, called Yoga Shastra. So the two topics of the Bhagavad Gita are going to predominate this retreat. Brahma Vidya, which is the main journey. And then, in order to qualify for the main journey, like when you go to amusement park, there will always be one little notice. You have to be this high in order to go on this scary ride. The child has to be this high. They will put a mark, because children below that, you cannot go on this ride because very frightening, it is dangerous, etc., etc. Similarly, to qualify, you know so there has to be some kind of an inner height, a kind of a sense of accommodation, a kind of a sense of the ability to let go, and all these things. So sadhana chatushtaya, all these things. And it is, of course, as always, a catch 22. Until the sadhana is there, the vidya will not come. you know until the vidya comes, to a certain extent, the sadhana won't come. So where do we begin? And we can only attempt to copy Pujya Swamiji. We plagiarize, you will see, myself and Swamiji plagiarize Pujya Swamiji without shame. The whole next 8 days, you will see that. Because thankfully in Vedanta there are no copyrights. We can do that. Even Kenopanishad says, Yenastad Vyachachakshire, we teach what the elders have taught. That is what it is. The whole thing is based on the parampara. And so therefore Pujya Swamiji used to say very beautifully, that this uh, until the until this knowledge comes, the sadhana will not come, and until the sadhana comes, the knowledge won't come. So he had a wonderful attempt. He had a two pronged attempt where the sadhana was given along with the knowledge. You assimilate both at the same time. So this is a holiday with, with one destination, and for which, in order to, it's like if you go for trekking, you can't suddenly decide I'm going for trekking. Before that, thoda kasrat karna padta hai. You have to go running, you have to, stretch this muscle, you have to stretch that, you have to go like that, you have to thoda karna padta hai. You have to do all that, and then you are qualified for trekking. So here also we will be doing both simultaneously. It will be very beautiful to watch. It will be very, very nice. And you might be thinking, oh, Swamiji and I have sat and had all these days to plan this. I have not planned anything. Neither has he planned. In fact, what I was going to say today also, I had not planned. This is just what it is. This is how it is, because the bala of the Shastra and the Parampara takes us on this journey. Even though we are here in the teacher's seat, it's a self driven car. We both are there, that's all. It does not derail. It cannot derail. We are just here. That's all it is. It cannot derail. It will take us, and we have that confidence. We have that shraddha that it will take us. This is, this is something which is beautiful, which is very, very nice to look forward to. Swamiji, please continue, and whatever you would like to respond, whatever you would like to add, I'm eager to listen.
So it is very nice, we all of us should uh, be very happy with this thing, because Shastra it is told, unless there is the Atma Kripa, Guru Kripa, Ishwar Kripa, and Shastra Kripa, unless all these Kripas are with us, Kripa means the blessings of our gurus, our literature, Shastra, Bhagwan, plus ourselves, Atma Kripa. Unless these Kripas are there, one cannot have the desire to study Shastra and look in oneself. It's not possible. Swamiji rightly said, unless these sadhanas are properly taken for the journey, we cannot reach the goal also. For that, mutually, that when the sadhana is being properly followed, that is not possible unless we know something about what we want to do, what is our goal of life. For that, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan himself says, अनंत जन्मों के पुण्यों के कारण ही, ninth chapter it is told, person comes to this spiritually, whatever retreat we say or study of Shastra we say, we have done some good karmas, all of us. Result of those good karmas, we get the desire of studying the Shastra and thinking about ourselves. Otherwise, now this holiday retreats, people must be traveling. And you also would have thought about, suppose the retreat would not be there, let us go this place, let us go that place, have a parties, come to India, what are many things people plan. But because of this punya udaya, we can say, whatever we have done good karmas, we have decided to stay with this retreat, study the Shastra. Atma Kripa is there. Atma Kripa means what? The blessings of oneself means our own did good deeds we have done earlier. The punya phalam is there. Then only this desire comes in our mind. Manushanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. Long. For that, and Vivek Chudamani also Bhagwan Shankaracharya just says very nicely, person one who has done good punya, has done good karma earlier, that person will think about studying the Shastra and completing our own journey. So in this journey, we are actually travelers only one. Rightly Swamiji just said earlier, traveler is only one. But we feel we are together, the family members, friend circle, everybody is together. But the person with whom we are traveling, that person also is only one, single traveler. Jivatvam is totally like we say false delusion. Once you remove that, we all are one. All travelers will feel we are only one travel, we are one person. Atma Aikyam will be there when we travel and understand further who are we and what we really want to achieve. That understanding comes slowly. For that purpose, we all will be travel. We are travelers. We are traveling. Don't think that those who have studied Shastra, they have completed their journey. It's not like that. That is also another traveling. There's also journey for us. So our Swamiji used to say, the study of Shastra and the journey of Adhyatma, spiritual journey, one has to lead oneself. Person will take help from somebody, but still moving further will be done by the same person. He has to do. Sadhana cannot be done for me by somebody else. Sadhana has to do by oneself only. Sadhana means what are the things to be done. Like in Gita, it is told Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means what? Doing one's own duties. My duty cannot be done by somebody else. Somebody can do his or her own duty. The same way, the spiritual journey also to be laid out, completed by myself only. These are the sadhanas will be there in between. Like Sadhan Panchakam, we could the five slokas the same way. Each text talks about the sadhanas only. Sadhyam is there. Sadhyam is not to be achieved. It is there only. Sadhanas are always to be completed. And that is the life of the sadhaka. And we all are sadhakas. You people have some other responsibilities. You are doing some other jobs, business. And we have this job, teaching Shastra, listening to people, or whatever we know about Guru Kripa by Guru Kripa, tell to them whenever they ask some questions. This is our job. But we all are sadhakas. Everybody is looking forward to completing our journey. So, and this few days, definitely, I think it will be very enjoying. Once we go in the text, like Swamiji also and myself will be going our own text. Rightly she said, we will be talking about how Puja Swamiji used to think in this subject, this way. His way of teaching, whatever we have heard from him and understood from Swamiji, because he was a master, really, master of Vedanta and culture, everything. And whatever we have gained from him, that only we will be able to share with you. And same time, that will be our sadhana also.
Yes.
So that will be our sadhana only. So maybe today evening I will start this text.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for those wonderful words, Swamiji. Very aptly said. The uh, the this holiday has turned a little more peculiar. In the beginning, you had all these people along with you, and then what? And then there was one at the end, you know. So then you may say, oh, this we are familiar with this, because in the beginning lot of people, there is, what is that called, the soda bottle enthusiasm. Soda can, when you open, fush, all the bubbles come out, especially if you shake it little bit, Coca Cola or something, you shake it nicely and open, everything comes for the first few seconds, and then after that, what? Flat. So we are used to this, because Vedanta classes, there will always be some dropouts. In fact, Vedanta classes are famous for lots of dropouts, attrition it is called. So yeah, maybe in the end only the teacher is left. No, no, no. Not like that. Here it is a different kind of a dropping. It's the dropping first of the raga dveshas through the study of the text. It's the dropping of all kinds of notions, including the notion, perhaps beginning with the notion, I am small, I'm just this body, as good as this body, I'm as good as this mind, I'm as good as the senses. And then everything drops, drops, drops. And then the dvitvam, the duality, is the last thing to drop. That is what the whole thing is. So this is why we have the this is why it is, it is a journey, it's a group holiday with a very wonderful twist, because you understand that all along, the all that was there is one. That is what it is. And Vedanta is full of paradoxes. You understand that everybody and everything is one because of the presence of all the people. It is very interesting. And you understand that you are one because of the presence of the gurus. This is how it is. So then, if everything is one, why is guru needed? Why is shishya needed? I have always said that the guru shishya relationship is the last frontier of duality. That is why we have studied this. Ishvaro gururatmeti murti bheda vibhagine vyomavad vyapta dehaya dakshinamurtaye namaha. So this is basically what it is. So this is it all culminates in the concept of the Lord Dakshinamurti, who cuts the differences between Shastra, Guru, Shishya, Jagat, Jiva, Ishvara, everything. So that is the power of this holiday. The power of the holiday is nothing but self knowledge. And why do I need self knowledge? I need self knowledge because of the fact that there is self ignorance. And so we can now say that the doors of the plane are closing. Please put your devices in airplane mode, and then put your seat belt on, because there is nowhere to go. And especially these days, because of corona, terrorism, etc., especially in American flights, they just want you to keep sitting. If you get up, they get suspicious, like, what do you want, what do you want, they say. So this is how, and we comply with all the directions. Why? Because one really wants to go that destination. Whatever the flight attendant says, we comply. Whatever the pilot announcement comes, please come back to your seat, put on the seat belt. Okay. Put your devices in airplane mode. Okay. No more distractions. And because one's survival depends on everyone's survival in a plane, because it is hurtling at 500 miles an hour somewhere in the sky, suspended by some miracle of physics, science, which is all Bhagavan. And then we have to comply with all that. And so to here, we are ready to take off, because moksha is a kind of taking off in this journey. We are here with the seat belts and with our what should I say, devices set, turned off, set to airplane mode. Then this is where uh, the prayasa comes in. This is where one's own Swamiji said earlier that this is an initiative taken by the person to go on this journey. You have decided, and whether you have decided or not, you have graced us with your presence today. You have dropped in today. And let it not be, my prayer for all of you is, let it not be a drop in class. let it let it be a class where everything that is connected, that you think is connected to you, all the notions actually drop off class. Let it not be a drop in class, let it be a drop off class where everything drops off. Give yourself the present of this journey. Give yourself a what is that, holiday gift, a gift for the new year, to enter the new year, because 2020 was just washed out, gone. I saw one joke. Somebody sent one somebody sent one cartoon, and it was in the form of a calendar. And what did the calendar say? January 31 days, February 29 days this year, and then March to November quarantine, it said. And then December, little bit of pieces of December were left. So that is how 2020 has been a horror, economically, financially. There has been hardships, health wise, there has been hardship. So many people have died, so many people have become sick, so many people have not been able to travel and see their loved ones. It has been a hardship, but it has also been, like everything, a blessing. So I have said this many times. Karuna virus, I call it. It is not corona, it is Karuna virus, which has transformed our lives. And then, just like our own mumuksha, it comes in waves. Suddenly, one feels like studying. Suddenly, some takes classes, and then other things come, and then one forgets and goes about one's own way. And then suddenly, the desire for Vedanta comes. And like that, if we look at the waves of this Karuna virus, same thing. First wave, second wave, now third wave. And now that the vaccines have come, hopefully that is the last wave. So let us let us catch the wave of this mumuksha. Give yourself the present of 2 hours a day. That's not too much to ask for 8 days. If you had to do it forever, yes. If you had to do it for 3 years, 3.5 years, like the course, yes, too much, because there are so many other things happening. This is just for 7 days, 8 days. You can do it. I know you can do it. Yes, there is COVID fatigue, there is Zoom fatigue, there is all kinds of fatigue. But give yourself this blessing, 2 hours. And then, see where this takes you. And if, make this an experiment. And even though you may have studied Vedanta for a number of years before, let us approach this with a new pair of ears and see where this will take us, because it will be a beautiful journey. And like Swamiji said, in fact, it is we benefit the most by teaching. The more we teach, the more we benefit. It is a sadhana for all of us together. And so, I will say a few things about Toṭakāṣṭakam, the text I'm taking. And I recalled the final verse, the Charama mantra of the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Yasya deve para bhaktihi, yatha deve tatha gurau, tasyai tasyaiva kathitha hyarthaha prakashante mahatmanah prakashante mahatmanah iti. So we were in the middle of that. So yasya, for whom, the one for whom, deve, in Bhagavan. And it's very interesting, the word deva comes from div, to shine. And who is this Bhagavan, if you ask? It is the self shining Atma, the self evident I. Dyotanatmakatvat Devaha. So this is Bhagavan. And that Bhagavan, which is ultimately in the Shastra revealed as you. So until that is completely known, and even afterwards, there is what is called bhakti. Deve bhakti. So towards in Bhagavan there is bhakti. Seventh case, Deve bhakti. Deve bhakti hi asti. So this bhakti comes from the root verb bhaja sevayam. Very interesting definition. We think bhakti means, doing this kirtan, bhajan, and puja, flowers, archana. And in the Panini Shastra, the meaning ascribed to the word bhakti, the root verb bhaja, sevayam, in the sense of seva. Seva means commitment here. Committed service, meaning I am in service of this knowledge, I am in service of this discovery of what this Ishvara is, which is the truth of myself. So para bhakti, the ananya bhakti, a committed devotion. So devotion here is commitment. For us, in the technical meaning of devotion is nothing but commitment. Yasya deve para bhakti. And then it's not enough. The Shvetashvatara mantra says to have bhakti in Bhagavan, yatha deve tatha gurau. Gurau, again, seventh case of Guru. Say exactly how there is devotion for the Bhagavan. There is a similar devotion towards the teacher, in the teacher. Why? Because the teacher is the mouthpiece of the Shastra. The teacher is the mic that amplifies the Shastra, that unfolds the Pramana. Otherwise, the Shastra is just a heap of words. Shabda Rashihi, as the Mundakopanishad says. So, if you take the pages of any Upanishad, that is not giving the knowledge. The pages still are Aparavidya. That which converts this Aparavidya, the non ultimate knowledge, to Paravidya, that is the teacher. That is Bhagavan. Here the teacher is the same as Bhagavan, because Bhagavan is speaking through the teacher. Bhagavan is the one who is the originator of this Shastra Parampara, Guru Parampara, because the first Guru, Bhagavan. Yatha deve tatha tatha gurau. And then tasyaiva, for that person alone, him or her, kathita hi arthaha. So whatever was told, prakashante mahatmanah. So tasyaiva mahatmanah prakashante. So for such a person who is already considered by the Upanishad a Mahatma just for entering the classroom, yes. A Mahatma for deciding to study in a committed way, yes. In fact, this is how all the teachers in the Shastra address the students. And we find this, Lord Yama addressing Nachiketa as Vidwan in one place, and we find the teacher even before he has studied, even before the knowledge was unfolded, because the shraddha in the teacher and in the teaching parampara, guru shishya parampara, is so much that Acharyavan Purusho Veda Brihadaranyaka declares, if you have Acharya, then you are as good as as good as as good as a jnani, one endowed with self knowledge. You already know. And then this it in the Viveka Chudamani also, He the student is told, very interesting, the student is told, remove everything that is variable, like the body, like the mind. This was a kind of a self enquiry contemplative exercise that the teacher gives the student. Remove the body, remove the mind, etc., and then see that which is left is you. And the student gets very frightened, and he says, nothing is left, oh Guru. And the teacher, even then, even when the student is broadcasting his ignorance, addresses him as Vidwan. So for this, so here also, this student is a Mahatma. Why? Because of the commitment to the Guru, to the Jnanam, is a Mahatma. And then Prakashante, the words of the Shastra, they shine, they bring home the meaning. The meaning is wonderfully assimilated. They light up the Satchidananda, they light up this message that the Atma is Satchidananda, which is already there. They remove the ignorance, and when the ignorance is removed, the lighting up automatically takes place. And so for this, for this shraddha and bhakti are needed. Kathitha hi arthaha means all the said words, otherwise the words just float away. And we have a saying, the words go from one ear and come out the other. I always say the words go from one ear and boomerang back to the teacher. The knowledge is therefore safe with all the teachers. It doesn't even go through. Why? Because of so many things. Raga is there, dvesha is there, strong preferences, strong prejudices, all this, create a wall. And that wall has to be broken down. That wall, when it is broken down, then, the student who thinks I'm looking at Bhagavan or I'm looking at the teacher is actually looking at themselves. The teacher is a mirror. That's what it is. And if the mirror is just reflecting the wall, you don't have Atma Darshanam. That is very, very, very difficult. And so therefore the teacher is very much lauded in the tradition. And it is not because this is a cult that, we just do Atma Puja and then everybody, we make people study with us. That's not the idea. And we, until this knowledge is asked for, it is not given. Oh, but you sent so many flyers. That's because you you asked for it at some point. You joined some mailing list that is asking for it. Huh? So you asked for it at some point, and we are just sharing what we are going to do. That's all it is. There is no pressure to teach. There is no pressure to become famous. There is no pressure to say how many followings do you have and how many followings do I have. There is no one upmanship. This is not that kind of a, it is not a cult, because it is thankfully not based on a person. It is not based on me. It is not based on Swamiji. It is not based even on Pujya Swamiji. It goes beyond all that. And we are just the carriers of the knowledge, and in which, the teacher is the teacher's personality has no place. The personality has no place, because in fact the knowledge of Vedanta makes the personality drop to reveal the Purusha, this the person. Sarvan Purayati iti Purusha, that which is everything, that which completes everything. So the personality is dispensable. What is we are interested in is the person. The I in me, as Swamiji said, is the I in you, is the I in he, she, it, everything is one. And that oneness, in order to understand, there has to be a kind of a shraddha, a cultivated devotion, reverence for the teaching, for the teacher, and as Swamiji said earlier, Atma Kripa, for one's own journey, which is taken seriously. You take yourself seriously. You are devotional to yourself, and from there you have devotion to Guru, you have devotion to Bhagavan. And one example of this devotion is a octet, 8 verses, Toṭakāṣṭakam. Totaka was a student of Adi Shankara, and Adi Shankara, as we know, had four main students, and comparatively, comparing to Sureshwaracharya, Hastamalakiya, Padmapada, Totaka by the other three students was considered Manda. Manda means dull. In fact, his name was not Totaka at all. It was Anandagiri, not to be confused with the Tikakara Anandagiri, another Anandagiri. He was called Giri. And so his name was Giri. And Giri was a disciple, and he never said anything, never composed anything. And which is kind of nice to see, because it is very wonderful for all of us. And if you ever had that thought, I'm not a great student, this text is for you. It is fun, wonderful. If you think I'm not a great student, I've just been kind of dragging along with Vedanta, nothing is coming. This student, this text is for you, specially meant for you. There is some redemption in even studying this text. It is wonderful. So it is said that Totaka was just always doing seva to the teacher, and whereas these other people were PhD material, PhD level. In fact, I don't know if Swamiji will agree, but Sureshwaracharya was postdoc, correct? He was beyond PhD. He was doing his postdoc. And because even Adi Shankara would comment on his works. So this is how it was. So Sureshwaracharya postdoc, and then Padmapada, Hastamalkiya doctoral students.
Even Padmapadacharya has written commentary,
Yeah, yeah.
lot of commentaries has
Yeah,
written.
yeah. All of
Mm,
them were like a
yeah,
PhD and beyond,
PhD,
postdocs.
correct.
Yeah. And then here we have, what is that? KG,
Correct.
kindergarten. Kindergarten Totaka. Never said anything, never did anything, always washing teachers' clothes, always cooking for the teacher. This is what he used to do. He used to just do some seva. And then, one day they were studying some important text, and then uh, they start the students were itching to start Shanti Mantra. Come on, Acharya, start the Shanti Mantra. Let us start. And Adi Shankara said, "Wait, so Giri is not here. Giri was washing the clothes by the river." And then Padmapada, this also is kind of nice for us to hear, that even in ancient times there was rivalry, rivalry for the guru's attention, rivalry for and need for validation of being a student. All this is kind of nice to hear, that the times haven't changed that much. Things haven't changed that much in time. So Padmapada points to one wall behind which they were sitting for the class, outdoor class. And then Padmapada said, waiting for him to come. But he is like teaching him is like teaching a wall. Oh, Guru, better to teach the wall than to teach him. Why are we waiting? And the other two snickered and laughed, and they had a good joke at his cost. Now he comes with all the clothes in hand. Who? Totakacharya, apologizing for being a little late, and then, by some miracle. And in the Madhaviya Shankara Vijaya, written by Swami Vidyaranya, he describes this very beautifully. And he says that at this point, to teach the other students a lesson, his bhakti and shraddha, because of his bhakti and shraddha, Lord Adi Shankara blessed him with everything he knew, the whole knowledge shone in his heart. And of course, when we read any kind of Shankara Vijaya biography of such a great saint, all this, so many additions and all come. I'll take a couple more minutes. We will end soon. So many additions and interpolations come, like Parakaya, Pravesha, all these stories are there. So then, that is all because of the fervor of the bhakti. All these stories have been added on. And then, but even if we take away all the hyperboles and whatever might be the paramparic exaggerations, we might think there is a wonderful lesson in all this, which is reiterated in the Bhagavad Gita: Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. The one with Shraddha gains the knowledge. because Shraddha is the key, the master key to open the words of the Upanishad into coughing up their meaning. Without Shraddha, nothing is there. So Totaka Giri comes and and bursts into this extempore, very melodious chant, as you will see. So many tunes are there for this chant. Wonderful. That is the beauty, and it's not an easy meter to compose. I am dactyl. This is the meter. Vidita khila shastra sudha, like this it goes. And so it is not easy to compose in that, but all this was composed and he composed this without any notes, without any effort. He did not look up which conjugation, how does it decline, where, everything. And it is so ingenious. He rhymes nouns with verbs, and both of them, he makes it very beautifully. And you will see this. And then, like hridaye kalaye, kalaye verb, hridaye noun, but somehow he has made them rhyme. Amazing. With finesse, with clarity, he just chants the verses of praising the Guru. And you cannot praise the Guru without praising the knowledge, without praising that Atma which is you. It's all one. Without praising Bhagavan, without praising everything. So this shloka, this totra is a praise song of the knowledge, of the giver of this knowledge, and of what it takes to gain this knowledge. Very, very beautiful message, very lilting message. He also composed something else, Shastra Sara Samudharana or something he composed, 174 verses of the unfoldment of Tattvamasi Mahavakya. And that is also in the Totaka meter. And so that's why he was known as the Totakacharya. And this is known as Toṭakāṣṭaka because it is in the Totaka meter, one reason, and it is composed by Totakacharya, second reason. Yeah, so I think that is enough for today, unless Swamiji has any concluding words to say. Do you want to say anything? No? Okay. So we will end here, we will stop here, and then we have begun this retreat with prayers to Bhagavan, to prayers to Pujya Swamiji, and to the entire Guru Parampara. And may the Shishyas be blessed. May the teachers be blessed, may the Shishyas be blessed, and may everybody have the desire to study, and may there be no obstacles to this study, inwardly, outwardly, in all the tapatrayas. May it all go. So we will say the closing prayer. um, ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्, असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Thank you all. Om. The text is in the flyer, and then if there are if you don't have the text, tomorrow I will put it in the chat pod. You can download it there. Okay? Yeah. All right. All the best.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद स्वामी जी।
Om, Om, Mishra ji, Om.
बहुत दिनों में दर्शन मिला, बहुत सुंदर।
Chandra ji, very nice. Om, wonderful.